Hi everyone, so today what I'm going to do for my how-to video is I'm going to teach you how to do a basic everyday makeup look. This is pretty much what I like to do when I don't want to get too overly done and fancy, but I want to still look a little bit put together. So this is pretty much my step-by-step routine for how I do my makeup every day, okay? Alright, so whenever you're first putting on makeup in the morning, afternoon, or nighttime, whatever it is, you always want to start out with a clean face. Okay, so you can either wash it, tone it, whatever you want to do. And then the very first step of what I do, so I do my eyes first. And what I start out with is an eyeshadow primer. And the one that I use is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which is this little blue tube here. And it tends to work pretty well. Now, not everyone needs to use primer. I like to use primer because my eyelids do get a little bit greasy throughout the day. So primer basically just helps the color to stay on your on your eyelids. It helps it stay there. So all you do, this is the end of the tube here. You just squeeze a teeny weeny little bit. You don't need a whole lot. I like to just squeeze mine out on my finger there. You can put it, some people like to put it on a brush. I just do it on my finger. It's easier and faster that way. And then you're just going to put it on the eyelid. Okay. You're going to rub it all around there. Make sure it's all nice and absorbed. And then we're going to do the exact same thing for the other eye. And just get it really nice on there. And usually it dries pretty quickly too, so you don't have to wait too much time in between. Alright, so next I'm going to put on my eyeshadow, and I'm going to use today the Aspen Ovard Tarte palette. It's one of my favorites. I love good browns and neutral colors, and this one was a limited edition and it's filled with them. It also has a blush and a highlight in, but I'm not going to use either of those today. So when I like to do my makeup, the first thing that I like to do is I like to start out, you want to do a base kind of like neutral shade for your for all over your eye. So I'm going to go in with this one down here in the middle, this brown one. This one is called Tea Time. And so I'm just going to dip my Tarte little eyeshadow brush in there. And we're going to go on the eyelid. I'm just going to cover all the way around. You want to make sure you get a nice even layer of color. You don't want to put a whole lot. Just a nice little base color so you can see the difference here between the one I have not. So now I'm going to do the same exact thing to my other eye. I'm just going to put a nice wash of brown, because brown helps bring out blue eyes even more. Okay, so now I've got my base brown on there. So next what I'm going to do is, now some shades, they don't go on as well with a brush, so I do recommend that you use a finger, because then you can like kind of pat it on a little bit more, and it actually stays on the pigment, especially these glittery colors. So what I'm next going to go in is with the one above Tea Time here. This one is called Heart of Gold. Okay, and I'm just going to take my index finger here. I'm just going to rub it in the middle so that I've got some now on my finger. And then I'm going to just lightly tap, kind of lay it on the outer half of my eyelid. And I just like to make sure there's a nice wash of color. I like to tap it in kind of at the very end in the corner there. So it's a little glitter gold. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other eye. Let me just use my mirror here. And just tap it all over there. Now, depending on how much coverage you want and how much, like, it's really up to you. If you want more glitter, you can put more on. I like to just in like a natural kind of, this is a good amount. Okay. Next in my step, I'm going to wash my finger off here real quick. Okay. After that, I like to put my mascara on next. Now, the mascara that I'm using for this video is the new Too Faced Damn Girl. I just got it a few days ago, and it works really good. Leaves your lashes nice and thick if that's the kind that you're looking for. And most people, it usually says just to do a few coats, but I like to do like about 5 to 6 coats just because I really want to get the product on there, and I really like thick, big lashes. So I'm going to do a few coats And this one works really well at getting it on there. I was really impressed with this mascara. You want to make sure you get the outer corners, get the inner corners as well. There you go. If I look down, you can clearly see this is the one that I just did, that I put mascara on, and then this is the other one that has nothing on. Clearly see the difference. I love this mascara. I'm going to do the other eye here now. Switch my hands here so I can get the inner corners of my left eye. Okay, look at those thick lashes. Woo! Okay, now some people use eyeliner. I don't use eyeliner every day for my looks. It really just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So for this video, I'm not going to use eyeliner. But I do, when I tend not to use eyeliner, I do like to make sure that my lashes are big and long, which is why I really like this mascara. It's a good natural mascara for the look. Okay? Alright, so next, what I'm going to do, and I do my routine a little out of order. So next I'm going to apply moisturizer. And what I have here is Tatcha's The Water Cream, which this is a good one. It's a really light one and it helps like kind of with oily skin a little bit. So my cheeks are mainly what gets a little dry and that's why I have to put moisturizer on. So I'm just going to put some on my cheeks here. I'm going to rub them in a circular motion to make sure I get all the dry areas, especially down by like my mouth. And I only use like a little bit because this one it works pretty well. So you just like to cover the finger. And I just rub it all over my face until I'm nice and moisturized. And then I do the other cheek as well, because you got to do both. Get on my nose. Okay. And that's that. Alright, now the final step, and I'm going to let my moisturizer sink in for a few seconds here before I do anything else. If you do eyeliner, I prefer to do eyeliner after mascara just because when you touch like your eyelids, it gets a little bit of the product on there, and then with eyeliner you can just go whoop right over it. And so what I'm going to use next is a Laura Geller. This is the Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator. And I'm going to take my Real Techniques little face brush. Now this is highlight and it goes up on like the tops of your cheeks here. So you always want to make sure that your moisturizer is well dry before you use anything. So you kind of, now with highlight you can put as much as little bit as you want. I like a kind of subtle highlight, so I just like kind of dab in the pan just a few times just to get the brush a little bit sparkly. And then after that, you're going to take the brush and then you are just going to go from about the middle of your cheeks up to about like kind of where your eye corner is. So I just like to swirl that on there. Just do it back and forth. Now, a really good way to make sure that you've got enough product on is you want to shine it in a light and then you can see the beam. If you want like that scene from outer space beam, go for it. You can add more. And if not, then just put as much as you want on. Okay. Alright, so we got the eyes, we got the cheeks, and then at the very end, I like to take my Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray. This just helps kind of keep everything in place. So I like to just spritz a few sprays on here. About 4 or 5 usually. Spray it all over the face, let it settle. And that is how to do a pretty basic makeup look.